Good morning. How is everyone doing out there this morning? I hope you're doing okay. I'm going to record a video today about volume and the volume formulas. In the little attachments, you will find a volume formula sheet, which is nothing but formulas for you. And then you will also find a worksheet to complete on volume. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch this. And I'm going to show you the volume worksheet and what it looks like here. You have, this is nothing but formulas. You have the volume of a cube, which A is considered here the length of one side. Since it's a cube, we multiply all three together. A rectangular prism, which we multiply the length times the width times the height. A pyramid, length times width times height, all divided by 3, or just 1/3, length times width times height. We have the volume of a cylinder, which is pi r squared h. You need to know the height and the radius. We have the volume of a cone, which is 1/3 pi r squared h. And then down here, the volume of a sphere, 4/3 pi r cubed. You will use this formula to figure out your portfolio entry. You will also be able to use this this formula sheet tomorrow and some of the works that you have for tomorrow, have assigned for tomorrow. Now, what I have right here, I'm going to do some problems. Okay, this is just a little sheet that I found that is not your homework, but I'm going to calculate the volume of each one of these. The first one here, we can see that it's a rectangular prism, okay? And if you look here, the rectangular prism, we multiply the length times the width times the height. So right here, I need to say 8 times 6 times 5. And you can do that on your Desmos or your calculator if you have that. 8 times 6 times 5 is 240. So the answer is 240. These do not have any units. So I'm going to put units cubed. We always want to put the units if they're available. All right. The next problem we have here, right here, this, as you can see, we have a triangle. So it's a triangular prism. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get the area of the base, which is the 1/2 base times height. Okay, that's the area of the base of a triangle. And then I'm going to multiply that by the length. So I need to figure out this length that's right here. So I have 1/2 the base, which is 12. This height over here, which is going to be 16. And then I'm going to multiply that by the length of 10. I know this one's a little difficult to see, and for that I apologize. So I do 1/2 times 12 times 16 times 10, and I get that this one then is 960 units cubed. All right. Did that help? Turn some light on there. Hope so. The next one I'm going to do right down here, as you can see, this is another triangular pyramid prism. And what we see that this length down here is 10 yards. So I know, since it's cut in the middle, that this is 5 and 5. We see that this triangle, these two sides are equal. So this is going to be a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay? And if you remember from the 30, 60, 90 triangle, I will put it here. Let's say this one's 30 and this one is 60. And here is our 90 triangle. The shortest side is always across from the 30-degree angle, which this right here is going to be your 30-degree angle. Okay? So 5 is going to be our shortest side. The hypotenuse, the one across from the 90-degree angle, is twice this value. And the one across from 60 is whatever that value is multiplied by the square root of 3. So what that tells me then is this height right here is 5 square root of 3. This is our special 30, 60, 90 triangles. Okay, so now I have all the information that I need. It is going to be 1/2 times 5, times 10, the whole base, times the height, which is 5, square root of 3, times that length here, which is 8. So I'm going to put all this in here, and it is I'm going to say 200 square root of 3 yards cubed. I do know right here that we're measuring this in yards. And as you can see, I multiplied 1/2 times 10 times 5 times 8, and then just left the square root of 3 in there. This is what we call an exact answer. I gave that to you because the one down here says leave this answer exact. If it did not say exact answer, I would just multiply the 200 by the square root of 3, and it is approximately 346.4 yards cubed. All right. This last one, this says leave the answers exact. I can see that this is a cube. All sides are the same. So this is just 4 square root of 3 cubed. So what I'm going to do with this one, this is 4 cubed, which is 64, times, if I take 3 and cube it, it is 3 square root of 3. Square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is 3, and then I've got one more, square root of 3. So this ends up, when I say 64 times 3, it's 192 square root of 3, and now we have meters cubed. Okay, I am going to show you one here on the back. This is going backwards. I'm given the volume, 1,440 meters cubed. I'm given the length, which is 15 meters, a height, which is 8 meters, but I do not know the width. I know that the formula for volume is length times width times height. So I'm just going to put everything in the formula that I know. Oops, 1440. Okay. My length is 15. I don't know that width. We're given that it's x times the height. So I'm going to say 1440. 15 times 8 is 120. And when I divide 1440 by 120, I'm going to get 12. Oh, that makes sense. So 12, and this is in meters, is x. I'm so sorry, it's very difficult to see. Right? Now, the volume of this one right here is 360 feet cubed. I can see that this is a triangular prism, so I need to see this over here is 8. If this is 8, this one is 8. I don't know what this is. Okay, I do not know what this is, but I'm asked for this height right here, this width, excuse me. So the volume of a triangular prism is 1/2 base times height, and then I'm going to multiply that by that width right there of x. I need to figure out exactly what this is, so I'm going to use the Pythagorean theorem. Since this is a 90-degree angle, I know that 17 squared is going to equal 8 squared plus whatever this base is. This base squared, and I have 17 squared minus 8 squared is 225. Is that base squared? So the square root of that is going to be 15. So my base then is going to be 15. I'm just double checking that. Yep. Okay. So now I can put everything in that I know. I know that the volume is 360 feet cubed. I have 1/2 times my base, which is 15. My height of the triangle, which is 8. And then I'm looking for this x value right there. Okay, that width. So I'm going to do my calculation. Half times 15 times 8 is 60. And when I divide both sides, I get that 6 feet is going to be this value of x right here. Right? I hope this answers some questions on volume. And remember, I am available 10 to 11 and 2 to 3 every day. Have a great day. See you tomorrow.